I follow you home before. Oh, I read this.
It's okay. It's okay. Impossible to compute logic. Please contact the manufacturer immediately. Claire, I probably shouldn't ask this considering my criminal record, but how would you feel if I told you that I've secretly been following you around?
Oh, well, why not? Everyone is free to do whatever they want.
I'll get straight to the point since we aren't getting anywhere.
Stop stalking me.
Is your room filled with pictures of me on all of your walls or anything like that?
Oh, geez, why'd you have to ask? Of course not. Don't you have any sense of taste, such as self-centered style? Wouldn't it be good for the feng shui, Ciaran? How dare you?
I can sense legitimate displeasure coming from Claire as we speak, as sincere as everything that comes from her. It doesn't detract from the importance of her words, though, but it certainly makes them appear even more bizarre. I'm gonna get serious because we still aren't getting anywhere. Please try to give me a clear explanation for all of this.
I don't see the problem here, but okay.
I want to know why you chose to approach me like you did. All those emails suddenly came out of nowhere, and now you're telling me that you've been stalking me? If you wanted to speak with me, it would have been easier to, I don't know, ask. Why did you have to make it so complicated?
Ciaran, we've already discussed this. You're never going to calm down until you find the answer that suits you the most, not the truth. Am I right?
Claire shakes her head, displeased. With no intention of responding any further, nevertheless, because I refuse to give in, she reluctantly decides to speak once again.
Would you have considered it any less weird if I'd spoken to you directly out of nowhere? Would you have remembered me all the same if I was normal?
I can see her breathe as she huffs out those two questions. She's highly offended, but shouldn't I be the one that's upset in this situation? Oh, why wouldn't I remember you? Had you wanted to make some sort of impact on me before we met?
No, Ciaran, no. It's the exact opposite.
Disheartened, she turns away from me and keeps walking along. It may be impossible to see the problem when I don't even understand what she means, or maybe I'm unable to achieve anything if I only stand back and watch. Claire, wait!
I'm not going to change my answer, even if you keep asking.
I want to know one more thing first, something I almost completely forgot about. Is it the figurine? That'd be funny. If it's true that you are the one who sent me those emails, then what happened to that order I made online? Where did my package go?
You're right. That, yes. If I remember correctly, it's in the garbage. You don't know where it is?
Do you think I'd ask that if I already knew the answer?
Seriously? You should have recovered it already.
Oh, that's you.
Maybe you don't recognize it. Maybe I am the figurine.
What are you saying? Can't you tell me what you did with it? What if that would be weird? Sorry, I had to catch up to what you said. That'd be weird if she was the figurine. Like, what was it called? The visual novel we did. Nameless?
Oh, Nameless, yeah. When the dolls came to life.
Yeah.
Me? Nothing you don't already know about. Why my voice changes? She's starting to sound not like her. I have no idea where it could be, but I'll investigate. It must be somewhere. But it could still be on its way, don't you think?
I've already checked the tracking and it said it was delivered.
Poor Ciaran, see? It's like I told you, you have everything backwards.
Backwards? What do you mean? Will you ever explain anything in a way that I can understand clearly, please?
Talk crazy
A
lady.
few minutes later, Claire says goodbye to me at the intersection where our routes split off. I'm too exhausted to continue any longer with that incoherent dialogue. For now, it's just easier for me to believe in her. Believe in the lovely girl that follows me everywhere and thinks that nothing bad can ever happen. I must stay by her side even despite the facts of the matter. I decide to stop questioning her and leave it for another day. For now, I'll simply have to have faith.
I didn't skip it that time.
Yeah, but it didn't say the chapter, so you might as well just skip the rest of those. Because that one didn't say the chapter. I was hoping it would.
Campanero, I need your chemistry notes.
They're back at school again. My notes? Are you sick or something? It's me, the one who always steals your notes. I mean, borrow them, yeah.
Gonna give them to me or not?
I can't be the only one who's noticed Aussie's personality change. He's been like this all week, ever since that meeting with the committee. Any good friend would be worried and would have asked him what's wrong or how's he feeling. Thank God that I'm not one of those people. I have a slight idea of what thoughts he could be harboring, and I'm pretty sure it's stupid, but I'm getting annoyed by all of his sighing. I guess I'll risk it and ask him about it.
Oh no.
It's none of my business, but what's wrong with you?
You aren't the most fit to ask that, Ciaran.
You didn't think so either. Everyone has their bad days. I almost ran out of empty pages in my notebook, and I will have to buy a new one soon, for example. Those 5 minutes it takes me to go to the arts and crafts store to buy a new one are always terrible. You have to talk to human beings, wait in a line, stuff like that.
Are you comparing shopping at an arts and crafts store with my issues, Campanero? You've no heart, it's all your fault.
What have I done now? Don't tell me that you're still bothered by what happened with Claire.
Don't you see? You've broken the invisible wall that divides the truth from lies. Now nothing can stop my libido from controlling my mind.
Oh, jeez, Ausse. And what happened to your bar on the beach, if I may ask?
We're facing eviction because we built it in a protected area. Those ecologists won't stop at it until they have had our heads chopped off. You happy?
So you've been thinking about it, and now you're punishing yourself because being attracted to someone with the body of a little girl doesn't change the fact that you're attracted to little girls? Maybe it'd be easier if you paid attention to something that isn't a physical trait. I don't know, her personality, for example?
Her perky what?
Oh no, you can't be serious, dum-dum. Why do I even bother? Why do we bother?
You don't get it, Campanero. It's not just that. We're supposed to be a duo, right? I'm the handsome, elegant, dandy one, and you're special. Well, you
said the way you said it. Anyway, no, because I was like, well, you're well, you is basically what he was saying. But anyway, that's why the way you said it threw me off. He's like, you're well, you. That's what he was saying.
Going to continue and say something.
No, he didn't continue. It was supposed to finish that sentence, but dot.
That was my misinterpretation.
It's okay. Me what? Finish that.
Suddenly there are a lot of girls surrounding you. Where does that leave me?
Lonely.
And single?
I don't know. Quarterback?
You're so funny. I'm serious.
Ouch. That hurt my ear a little.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's never been an issue for you. All the cute girls in the world belong to you. Isn't that your motto?
You're right about that, Campanero. As you know, I'm a free spirit who's able to adapt to any situation. What I'm interested in is your opinion. Are you going to take responsibility?
Unlike you, I don't have a magnet embedded in my pelvis. That so many women have suddenly appeared in my life doesn't mean anything.
Love is a two-way street, Ciaran. It's like that regardless of if you're on the receiving or giving end, even when there's indifference. I hope you don't think you have to adjust yourself to anyone else's preferences, even if it's hard because no one really knows their own preferences. So if I end up admitting that I like little girls, then I shall accept it, and you should do the same.
In short, you want someone to tell you that you're not a sexual predator that should be sent to jail?
That's not all, but please, do tell me I'm not a monster.
Can we have a little experiment to test it out? You're always talking about hotties, and you've never mentioned where you draw the line for women to fit into that group. As long as they... Oh, that's you.
Oh, as long as they fulfill the minimum requirements, their origins, height, weight, race, and cup size don't matter. Although, the cup size is a plus.
Oh, jeez. And what's the minimum?
Don't know. A minimum? Who has the right to define the features that make a woman an angel? You could consider it a sixth sense of mine.
But there must be a limit, and I've come up with a way to test it out. We can start with some obvious features and move on from there. Listen to me carefully, okay? You have to imagine your perfect woman, understand? Your ideal girl, but let's change some of the details about her. You have to tell me if, even after those changes, you're still attracted to her or not, so we can move on from there.
My ideal woman, maybe someone like Ziva, I guess.
Terrible taste, but I'm not one to intervene. Let's start with something easy if you feel up to it. Imagine your ideal woman, but she's missing an eye, and she wears an eye patch. Would you still like her?
Which eye are we talking about? The left or the right?
I don't know, it doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. That way I know which cheek I can steal a kiss from without her noticing.
Oh, wow. Give me a second, gotta puke. You probably think you sound like a Casanova or something. And if instead of an eye patch it's a lazy eye, one of the ones that look everywhere except where it should.
A good excuse for me to get lost in her gaze.
If you keep it up with those types of answers, I'm out.
You're just jealous of my poetic talent.
The word you're looking for is ashamed. And what do you think about an unstable girl, just like your ideal woman, but she's bipolar?
Two is always better than one. Being with her would be like a threesome, think about it.
Oh, jeez. And if you've ever thought in your entire life, as if you've ever thought in your entire life, then what if she's deaf mute, for example?
Let's talk in more love. What's wrong with that?
Oh, wow. What about a blind one?
You can see the important things with your heart.
Burned. If she had half of her body burned, I'm sure that you wouldn't be able to handle it.
You're not gonna win, Indy. She would burn anyways in the fire of my passion.
Jeez, he has a one-liner for all of these. No arms.
Easier to hug.
Oh, jeez. No legs.
She wouldn't even need them when I can carry her bridal style all the time.
You'd get tired of carrying her if she were fat or something.
Besides, legs are an inconvenient obstacle for...
Enough! What's wrong with you? You don't care in the slightest about people's conditions or what? It could be Mrs. Potato Head and changing her body parts, and you still wouldn't mind?
I like Toy Story. Hey, you're the one who's in love with plastic figures. As long as they're alive, it's fine with me.
So basically, not a vegetable. I'm starting to doubt that.
Well, if it was a zombie girl, I can't say that I wouldn't. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
While I ponder about on which distant planet my respect for this man resides upon, Ziva enters the classroom quite excitedly. As soon as she sees us, she comes over with her usual greeting.
Hello, hello. How are my favorite guys?
We were just talking about you, Ziva. I'm pretty sure that Dingus here is lying, so to prove him wrong, I have to gouge one of your eyes out. You don't mind, right? I don't know why I laughed halfway through that sentence. Anyway, keep going.
Wait, what do you mean? Gouge one of my eyes out? What? What are you going to do with that pen?
Gouge your eye out. I was thinking about drawing an eye patch on your face, considering I don't have a real one. But if you'd prefer that I really do gouge an eye out, then we can do that.
Not a step closer. You're exhibiting symptoms of several psychosis.
Severe psychosis.
Oh, before. Oh!
As I try to grab a hold of Ziva, she trips over a table situated behind her and falls on top of it.